Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Real Reds Talk Unfiltered. Nothing is off the table. What are we up to this international break, lads? Any plans at all? Still sewing the wounds from Sunday?
Nothing really. Just yeah. Personal situation at home dictates I must be at home for the next couple of weeks. So I will be doing not much at all.
What about yourself, Civir? Bit shit in it, international breaks.
Yeah, crap, man. Absolute crap. Not much.
Work.
Work stuff, yeah. So every Sam knows this. Every first week of the month, it's madness.
Reports.
Work. And we've got a lot of work to do, haven't we, over an international break as well for some of the players who are staying. I know there's been quite a few that have gone out there to with like Holland and England and America, Argentina. But I'm going to discuss one of our South American players. That's one of the topics that we can get into. Again, it's unfiltered, it's relaxed. It's not going to be, focus driven just on these topics. We can just kind of have a chat and flow and see where it kind of goes. But I do want to discuss Ugarte's interview because I think there's some interesting quotes out of that. We had Alejandro Garnacho, who's hit back at a critic online, which is interesting at least. Some tactical tweaks that I want to pick the lads' brains about, and the manager's odds have been released, lads, for who's going to be the next manager of Man United. So we'll discuss that towards the end, or who potentially is going to be the next manager. So let's pick out some of these Ugarte quotes, and then I'll get your thoughts. So what convinced Ugarte on his move here? He said, well, first and foremost, it's history, because we all know what a massive club United is, one of the best teams in the world. I also spoke a lot with Facundo Pellistri, and he told me about everything, the atmosphere that's generated, the matchday atmosphere, the build-ups at Old Trafford. It's incredible. So, yes, I'm really excited. Really, it's a dream come true to join United. It seriously is. I'm really happy because it's been a very long process, and now I know it's done and dusted. I'm absolutely delighted and very happy indeed. Now, I know some people may put it out there that this is a political answer, isn't it? Kind of PR that, this club's great, I joined for all this and blah, blah, blah. But I do think there is an importance to it on the players that we bring in, not only having the ability, but having the character as well, because that has been an issue. You look at, I don't know, Alexis Sanchez, let's just say, for example. That you need to do due diligence on that side, don't you?
I don't really take this interview seriously, especially when it's on MUTV.
No, it's polished.
The only I don't anything on MUTV, any interview. It's just if you listen to one, you literally listen to all of them. I think the only one that I really enjoyed was Icardi's, for obvious reasons, because that was just funny when he's talking about lying down on the bed in the hotel shaking. That was crazy. But apart from that, you mentioned Alexis Sanchez, he super excited to be here. Remember the piano thing, and then his own interview was just he's finally here, and so I don't really take this into. But to answer your questions, yes, I mean that's the kind of character that we want. I mean, if we're going to believe everything he's saying, I think he's that type of player. I think he's one of them ones that comes with fire in his belly. He kind of reminds me of Lisandro in the midfield sort of thing, like that sort of fire. Yeah, that kind of the warrior and all that. So I don't doubt anything he says. And I think we've lacked a little bit of that recently. In the past couple of years, we're starting to get a few more professional players now. When I say professional, I mean attitude and approach to the game and professionalism is what I actually meant. So yeah, it's good to have that. I like him. I like what I know, what I see about him, and I think that's going to translate really well, on the pitch.
Seems to be something about South American spirit, doesn't it, Sam? That's kind of unrivaled. If you look at Chivy's just referenced Leacher there. Casemiro has it. I know he is wild as well on the ball, but he does have that. Fred had it a bit. Even I know we don't like him, but someone like a Carlos Tevez, he seems to have that fighting spirit, don't they?
Yeah, I think he mentioned it late in the interview. He called it, was it Garachura or Garachura? I think he references it. It basically translates to fighting spirit. Because he was asked about the quote where he said, "When I have the ball, it's a fight, and when I lose the ball, it's all out war. I'm ready to kill someone, basically." And I think
Love it.
that is South American footballers for you. They are some of the most aggressive, some of the most passionate football people in the world. Like,
Anthony's.
Why do they all talk like that? Why do they all
know.
say stuff like that?
I don't know.
Do you remember Anthony would say something like, "You're messing with my food" or something?
Yeah,
Anthony said something.
It was rainbow flicks, drug dealers, and nutmeg police officers want it.
Like, it's just they're very. It's a very
Nutcase.
insane culture. But if you have a look at the fan culture over there as well, like you can't have fans in the same stand. Like they have riot police separating them because it just kicks off on the regular. Like, if you look at like River Plate games and Boca Junior games, it's just insanity. So that's the culture that these guys come from, and obviously he's from a small country in Uruguay. And I think he says in interviews as well, it's like, oh, there's not many of us. So it's really important to us when somebody makes it, like a Pellistri, like a Cavani, people like that. So he's very proud to sort of represent the flag and the country of Uruguay and stuff. So, yeah, I think he's going to become my favourite player. I think Leacher and him is going to be up there as my favourite players, I think, just because the aggression, Garnacho, all that sort of stuff, I'm all about that.
Yeah, the passion of fighting is kind of, we've got a few players who are like that already in Lisandro Martinez. Bruno Fernandes is another one who sometimes he overdoes it, but I don't think you can kind of question his character or personality in that sense, that, you know, as in like he actually cares about Manchester United. And Ugarte referenced them two players in particular, saying that he's spoken to them and they're the main guys who have been in contact with him. And he's spoken quite a lot, so he's thrilled and more than anything eager and excited. I think people forget sometimes about that, don't they? You know, like, the importance of players, you know, when they come across. So, like, someone like Andre Onana, for example, speaks like 5 different languages. You have players coming in who don't really feel settled, even some of the youngsters. So having players like Leacher and Bruno so integral to a player's integration.
Yeah, what's the question? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that I don't think people really, it's understated in it, the importance, because they don't necessarily see it, you know, behind closed doors. It's more of a thing that goes on. We don't have access to it. So
of course. Yeah, definitely. I mean, anywhere you're going into, like, regardless of if it's a football club or just any business or whatever it is, I mean, it's nice to have people there, that some sort of foundation to kind of help you settle down and all that kind of stuff. I think he'll fit right in. I think he's, from the kind of character that we're seeing, I think regardless, right, I think he'd fit in quite well.
Do you not think there'll be a transitional period at all, just on that?
I'm not sure. I hope not. Because some of these guys pick up really quickly. And don't forget, like, another part that we don't see is, yes, it's, you know, Man United and Man City, but these guys they're all friends. So I remember Otamendi used to hang out with Marcos. What's the guy? Marcos Rojo. Yeah.
So we've just seen a picture of McAllister and Leach, haven't we? I don't know if you saw that just recently after the Liverpool game, and a lot of people were like, you know, not happy about that. But it's just modern football nowadays, isn't it? It's just how it is.
Yes, friends, Argentinian friends.
Argentinian friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so like there's other players, you know, from like a similar background in the city that like kind of like help him settle and all that kind of stuff. But I think as far as transitioning, I think you settle on quite well. We don't really see them struggle that much, like people from South America. A lot of them seem to click. Cavani clicked on really well. Tevez, you know, a lot of people. I mean, there's the odd one like Sanchez but I think, you know, if you're quality, I don't think he'll struggle. The only thing he might struggle with is, and I don't want to go into this, but it might just be like, you know, the manager and, you know, positions and stuff like that. But I don't see him taking a long time. I think he'll be jumping at the bits after he start playing.
Yeah, I think you can see that already from the quotes. And he's spoken about in terms of his ability on the pitch, Sam, and what he's going to bring, saying, I consider myself a complete player. I'm good at recovering the ball, but I'm also good with the ball as well. Of course, there are things to improve on, and there's no better place than here to do it. From what I've seen from the clips, obviously, I haven't watched... I mean, I watched him against Newcastle in the Champions League. I've watched him a few times with PSG and some clips from Sporting Lisbon. I think his passing's decent, but it's not it's not required. It's not like Casemiro's when sometimes he can do, the switches of play, the ones in behind for like Marcus. He's not amazing at that, so potentially more kind of variety needed in those areas. And his offensive contribution in the final third definitely needs to be improved on. As Carl Anker said on Talk of the Devils, he gets a nosebleed when he gets to the final third. So, look, he's not coming in as a full package, is he?
No, but I think that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for a Zubimendi from Ugarte. Like, it's not who he is. Like, I know Chivy's a massive, massive fan of Zubimendi, like the way he plays and that kind of all action sort of can do everything really, really well. And there's no real weaknesses in his game. And he does it all from deep as well. It's very Michael Carrick, Sergio Busquets, Iniesta type vibe. That's not what you get in Ugarte. Like, he's a destroyer. He's a interrupter. He's a rhythm breaker. He is somebody to stop the attack before the last line in the defense. That's what he's there for. And I think while Casemiro does have like line breaking passes and he can offer that, I think as of recently it's not been effective and it's been really poor. I think if you can get Ugarte going and he's breaking up plays, interrupting tackles, interrupting teams like City's rhythm or Liverpool and stuff like that, and then he can get the ball to a Bruno, to a Kobe Mainu, who are capable of those passes, who are capable of carrying the ball and getting through players and stuff like that, or playing it out wide to one of the wingers. That's what you need him for, and I think that's what the way he's going to be used is that kind of sort of Kante-esque type role. Otherwise, if you're going to be pushing him up forward and stuff, like you said, he's deficient in those areas and you're just not going to get the best out of him. Whereas the best of him, he is an all-action destroyer. That's what he does best, and I think that's the way he's going to operate.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some suggestions that he could play alongside Casemiro, Civir. Would that fill you with more ease having Ugarte next to him? Because at least if Casemiro's then losing the ball, at least it's higher up the pitch and not right near the final third.
I mean, it sounds on paper, it sounds more assured, more solid.
Yeah.
Right, on paper. I don't know how that's going to translate. Even if Casemiro loses the ball or whatever. I mean, we saw when Kobe Mino lost the ball for the third goal, it was like 4-2.
Yeah,
right?
Liverpool
Something
done
like
that
that,
really
yeah.
well in that game, Like, if you look at each time he lost the ball, 4 or 5 players around him straight away hunting him.
Because they know how much we commit going forward.
Yeah.
They know if they can win the ball back there,
especially.
if they can win the ball back there, it's over because they'll just be straight in on goal.
Yeah. So I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know we're outnumbered at least by 2. That I remember well. So unless this guy has to be like a super track and field star because we're going to be losing the ball. So he's going to do a lot of chasing. Maybe he might. I'd like to see them together, but in a completely different format, in a more controlled format. Even if it means we play the same way we played, to just sit narrow, the way we won the Carabao Cup, FA Cup final against City. If we play some sort of similar thing like that, both of them would thrive, right? But it sounds on paper, I liked it. I like how it sounds. Like Casemiro and Ugarte, I think it leaves Casemiro with a little bit more freedom to be able to progress the ball, to be able to, have time to like look for the passes and things like that. And if you play that with a Mount or even a Bruno or Kobe Mino in the 10,
I was about to say, do you think Mainu would work in a 10?
I think so.
I think we should try it. I
think so. I'll be very happy to see that because I was literally about to say that. Just far more composure. Now you can't take away what Bruno brings to the team. Definitely you can't. But then as far as composure, I think as far as allowing, I keep hearing people use this word and I hate that I'm using it now. But it kind of unlocks Kobe, basically. Yeah. If we play him in the 10 with those 2 behind him. But
yeah, it's an interesting
it
kind
remains
of
to be seen. Yeah.
A lot of fluidity in the line, I would suggest, for this season. Hopefully, if Ten Hag isn't too stubborn. But there is the similarities actually, Sam, between both of the pair. Obviously, Casemiro's better on the ball. We've spoken about that. Ugarte definitely covers more grass, but aggression on both sides can lead to these kind of unnecessary fouls, picking up daft yellow cards, and that is something that you in particular get annoyed with Casemiro. I'm promise you now, you're going to get the same thing with Ugarte because he's got a lot of volume and he is quite reckless at times.
Yeah, I think when you've got certain players with that aggression, that is always the risk. The risk, the thing with Casemiro is, I don't have a problem with somebody putting a yellow card tackling if it's an effective tackle. If it's stopping a play or it's doing something, you're taking one for the team, that's fine. He just seems to do it for no reason. Like there's no like reason for him doing it sometimes. Like he'll just 2-foot someone for the fuck of it, and I'm just like, why? He wasn't on an attack. He wasn't in a dangerous position, and you've just killed him and you got yourself a yellow. Like it's pointless.
The Elise one was quite damning, wasn't it? Do you remember against
just...
Palace where he just gets past him and you got the ref cam on it as well? You're like, oh god,
like
Jesus.
I'm fine if it's like if he intercepts a ball or he gets a late challenge, but he's trying to sort of win and he gets a yellow. Fine, I don't mind. It's just when it's reckless for the sake of it, that's when it's an issue. That's when I have a problem. Like people have issues with Bruno losing a ball in the final third. But the reason he does that is he's trying to make these line breaking passes. He's trying to make a dangerous ball. So inevitably the risk sometimes is like outweighs the actual like sort of strength of the ball. So sometimes he will lose the ball. But that's what you want from your 10. You want them to be risky with their forward passing because potentially it could create a goal. If your number 10 gets the ball and he's just hitting it sideways and backwards, what's the point? Oh, yeah, great. His pass completion rate is 100%, but he's not playing any sort of risky passes or passes that could potentially create a goal. Same with a number 6. Like, if he's making tackles, you don't want it to be just safe tackles that don't, like, advance the game or advance the team. So if he does get a yellow here, there, and everywhere, and it saves the team, or it means the team can be better off, or not concede a goal, or not concede a chance, then I'm fine with it. It's okay.
I've got all the money in the world. There is a game at some point this year where he snaps someone and you absolutely lose your shit.
Oh, I will do. I will do. I will do.
I can see it already.
I will do.
For a fact.
I definitely will do because I lost it when Ander Herrera. You remember when Ander Herrera got sent off?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Was it Southampton he got sent off against?
No, but I don't know what team it was, but I know.
He got sent off, and he's one of my favorite players in the world. I was fucking furious. But
it happens sometimes.
You know what's funny about Ugarte? Like, I only remember him from the game against Arsenal when Sporting Lisbon played Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know it wasn't until we're linked to him that I was like, oh, so he's that guy. Because remember, he got a red card.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched it, but he got a red card in that game. And he was just reckless the whole time. Just starting fights. Yeah. Just taunting them.
He was young, they had because he's only 23, 24, so what he would have been like 20, 19.
He was 21, I think, yeah. But they were balling out, and I remember that was the game that they had that goal from like the halfway line.
Sporting beat him?
Yeah, they beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, they beat them, yeah. Where he had that goal from the halfway line was just mad and just silenced the entire Emirates.
Who scored that?
Yeah, it was Gonçalves, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a totally avoidable red card. Like, he was just being a prick the whole game.
I'm not calling all South Americans pricks, but I'm just saying like they have.
It's in the blood.
It's
in their blood.
It's a completely different thing. Football to them, like we think it's a religion for us, but for them, it's something else.
Absolutely. Nice to see so many in the chat. I'm going to go to the comments now, and then we're going to discuss another South American talent in Alejandro Garnacho. Right, what are we saying? How about 4-2-4 with Ugarte and De Ligt in the midfield? No, De Ligt in the midfield. Absolutely not.
Ugarte and De Ligt?
No, not doing that. No. Don't want it.
If you're going to do anything, put Leitcher in there, not fucking De Ligt.
It would work on FIFA, but I don't think
it would. Sure it would. Ten Hag better put Ugarte in the squad for Southampton. I think he'll be in the squad. I think maybe 5-10 minutes. You like to see with is it De Ligt? There's like 10, 15.
Xerxes as well.
Like that. Xerxes as well, yeah. I think you'll see a similar kind of situation. Sam, are you eating a halloumi?
No, it was chocolate proteins, and I've not eaten since like 11 o'clock, so I was just...
I didn't even see that reply that you put in there, my bad. Joshua Owen, even that's perfect. As long as we strengthen our midfield defence-wise, which has been an issue since Keane left. Jesus Christ, that's like 20 years ago. Bruno allowed Casemiro and Mainu to be outnumbered and pressed by Liverpool. I'd bench him for that. Bruno's someone who's reckless in his pressing in at times. I don't feel like he has a structure. I think he just works on like.
He
do you know what I mean?
Sometimes when we're doing poorly or we're losing a game, he'll run round like a headless chicken, just trying to do something.
Put fires out in it.
And he's like, the fires aren't there, mate. Like, I don't understand what you're trying to do. You just relax and like focus on what's the issue is. But you just like, he'll leg it from like the edge of one box to the edge of the other and then make a foul to be effective. And you're like, why have you done this?
I understand the sentiment behind it because he's like, I'm trying to do it for the team.
Trying
I'm
out,
trying to work.
Yeah.
He's trying, but it takes away from a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember it in so many games last season.
It's stupid and it's really annoying. And that's one of the qualities about Bruno that really pisses me off. And that's why I don't like him as a captain. Like, you have to stay disciplined. You have to stay, you have to stick to the plan. He kind of just loses his head after, and then just goes off on his own single missions, and it doesn't help the team.
I feel like the full theme of the team's like that though, like just chaotic. Do you know what I mean? Like they all seem quite wild and reckless.
Do you know what it's like? I don't know if any of you studied history, but like World War II, everyone was in like their trenches on each side, and then there's a bit in the middle called no man's land, and you're not meant to go in there because it'll just end up disastrous. And all the other teams are in these trenches, and I feel like Bruno just goes, fuck it, and just climbs out and starts running towards the opposition, going, I'm going to get him, and he just gets...
By luck, you might get through no man's land.
But most of the time, you're just going to get destroyed, and that's what happens to him every single time.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I kind of glazed over that on the afternoon show earlier on today. It's Josh Owen says it there as well. Our fullbacks are too high up when we're in possession, so when we lose the ball, there's only two players back. Yeah. I know we're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it's fine because it's unfiltered. I would just like to see a bit more compactness, a bit more, get someone closer. Owen Hargreaves said it yesterday. I was watching him, and he said, right, Fergie, when a player would get to a certain age, like 30, 31, and the legs were going a little bit, he would put someone alongside it. He would bring the centre-backs closer, he'd bring the midfielders around him closer, and he would protect him more, and he wouldn't give him as much game time and as much space to eat up. And I know, Civir, I know you were smiling probably because this is something you were saying last season. And look, I'm always happy to say, I understand it now, I get it. But there is still a side to it where Casemiro, look at that pass that he made. That isn't on anything else other than just sheer stupid mistakes, in my opinion, because he's got a wing back. You know
I wasn't smart because of what I said last season, because you were saying that I wanted you to say the C word. You said, I want to see a little bit more, come on.
Compactness. Control. Ah, right. And we know he loves control, don't we? That's something. Right, my bad. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, it's true. It is true though, because it's so open. You have to identify that as a manager, lads, and say this isn't working. I know he's stubborn.
The word is
not working. Is it?
The word to describe our team is reckless. That's how we are. That's how we play. It's literally just every all-out attack. Doesn't matter what is happening, what score it is. What we're doing, if we get the ball, we're just trying to get it forward as fast as possible, regardless. And it's reckless, and it's costing us games, and it's costing us goals every single time.
I'm finding this really, really frustrating, confusing, and because it's like, why has it taken you guys so long to see it? This is, and now, what, I'm finding it conflicted because it's a new season, and I was like, okay, it's a new slate. I'm genuinely going to give this guy another chance. And then all of a sudden, I'm listening. After work today, I was just checking different channels. Everyone's complaining, and I'm like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? This is what we're saying the whole of last season. That is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. These guys just run off, and it's like there's nothing in the midfield. And then and then all of a sudden, I was like 3 games in, and now everyone's like, yeah. So it's a bit confusing, but it's like I'm trying to just listen. I want to give him this season. I'm giving him another chance, and then.
Yeah, sorry. Do you remember your meme? Why are you running? Why are you running? That's United, did it? It's literally United. It's like, why are you running? What are we doing? Yeah. Why is the fullbacks all the way up there? Why are you running? What are we doing? It's fucking just.
I swear, this is that Tottenham game. You remember that?
Yeah.
Was that the second or third game of the season?
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah.
And I was like, Casemiro's up there. And immediately I'm thinking, like, so who's in the midfield?
Nobody.
And literally,
Nobody there.
at that moment, it just
Have you ever been alongside your mate and like, so you're out on like a lad's holiday and you're saying, "Don't do it, just don't do it," and you sat there, you're watching Casemiro at the time. Do you know, like they get a transition and he's about to press, you sat there going, "Don't press him, leave it, scan," and he goes, "I'm doing it, I'm going for it." You're like, "No, stop, don't."
And then it's like, so should we have another drink? Nah, we should go back to the hotel, and he's already at the bar doing shots and just fuck it. And you're just like, "Oh, for God's sake!" Like
this guy, man. But I get it. The reason why I not allowed it, but like I didn't understand it, but I was like, I kind of understand, you know, they've got a lot of injuries. Maybe it's happening because of that. But now you see that team against Liverpool on Sunday was almost your best team. You know, there's a couple of players, Højlund, Shaw, you know, Ugarte when he comes into it. But how much of a difference really is that going to make? You're still going to make the same individual mistakes. So, yeah, sorry, went off on a bit of a thing. Let me go back to the comments because we're going to be here for hours. Marky Mark, the hourglass is slowly running out for Eric. Man's getting desperate. From Mark. What did you guys make of his reaction in the press conference, by the way? Did you see it about the trophies? He had a back and forth with the journalist.
That is a whole nother show.
It's a bit
like that. That was cringe. That was a cringe fest. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
No, Marky Mark just said that their post-match interviews are getting weirder and weirder. Eric's losing the plot. He does have that feel about it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has a feel of, do you remember Jose's final months when he was getting proper snippy with people and journalists and he was just having a go at him and attacking him? Yeah. Did he call a journalist fat once or something? I'm sure he did that. I'm sure that
there was a manager who definitely did that.
I'm sure Jose called 100%. Somebody a name or called him bald, something like that, and he was getting proper. I was like watching him going, "This is getting insane," and he literally got sacked within a couple of months.
You know what? I just realized. I've literally just realized that job is just cursed.
Yeah,
it
turns people crazy. Look what he did to Van Gaal. Look what he did to
He aged Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about 20 years.
He aged Solskjaer. Ragnick became like, look what he does to people.
Ragnick was like getting deep state secrets, wasn't he? And then just handing out folders to people going, "Have you seen this shit that's going on beyond there?" And they're like, "Oh my God, what is..."
Nobody leaves this job the same, apart from like Carrick and Giggsy, who only had it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But nobody leaves this job the same. Like everybody leaves and needs therapy. I swear down. Like, this job is poison.
It's you know Treasure Island, you know the black spot that you get? Like if you're gonna die, they give you that. That's what it is. Ten Hag's got
the
that.
ring.
When you get the job,
ring, you know, like
when you get the job, they go, "Here's the contract, and here's a bottle of Valium. You will need that at some point." Just
that's to have at the end of your contract, or maybe 2 years into your contract, because there is a 3rd-year curse. I'm going to warn you of that. So expect the absolute worst. And he has been through the ringer just as a manager. On a side note, like, oh my God, I know it's a United job, and you expect a lot of pressure and to deal with a lot of things, but everything that's hit him, you can go through the years that he's been here. It has been a mad whirlwind, hasn't it? Into like everything with the ownership and Ronaldo, and it's been crazy for him. So yeah, definitely needs a longer holiday than he got. No, Bruno is good, a lot more consistent than average on the left wing. It was LVG who called Curtis a fat man.
Oh, Neil Custis. It was.
Was it Custard?
Yeah, Custard. He called him fat man.
Oh, that's all right then. I don't mind that.
That's what I remember. That was fucking brilliant. Like, I hated LVG football, but that press conference was one of my favourite things I've ever seen. Just called Neil Custard, just going, "What are you talking about, fat man?"
But Van Gaal, I think Van Gaal in general, he's very charismatic, wasn't he? Like
he's out of his he's out of his mind. He's fucking mental.
That's a nice way to say it. Charismatic.
Yeah. He's a lunatic. But he was. You know when he fell to the floor? What game was it? When he had the clipboard in his hand. This guy, man, he's absolutely lost the plot, mate.
And then he got pissed at the dinner, at the end of your dinner. He got absolutely smashed.
Yeah.
And grabbed the mic and just started rambling.
It's like, do you know when you go to a wedding and the best man gets too drunk and then just starts saying shit on the speech? Yeah. You're like, "Oh my God. Stop it.
No.
Yeah, he grabbed the mic. He's like, "Yeah, listen to your manager. Listen to your manager."
Like AJ, do you know
Well, he
AJ when he
literally
got
did
knocked
that.
out and he was doing that speech after the game? It was like
fucking hell.
stop speaking. Rooney told the story about Van Gaal actually. He was saying that he used to, after every meal, everyone would have it at the same time. They'd have to wait until Van Gaal started eating before they could, and all this kind of stuff. And he said he would always call 3 players up after the meal, and they were the ones who were in shit. So they'd all finish the meal and they'd sit there waiting for Van Gaal to go, Chris, you.
No, you mean,
and they'd be like, oh.
Nick, you mean Mike Smalling.
Yeah, Mike Smalling.
Mike
Sorry,
Smalling.
Mike Smalling. What a guy, Van Gaal. Take me back, Jesus. Well, I've just seen a good comment there. Where's it gone? From McMillan, was it? I think we can't be compact with this crystal meth set up. Eric Ten Hag as the team.
Jesus Christ.
Andy, and this is going to be about the manager. I can absolutely guarantee
of course.
it. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. He should have been sacked after 7-0 for me. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Andy might want Ten Hag gone. I hate how people were like, he did well at the end of the season. No, he just packed the midfield. We didn't play any better or harder to beat. Is it different tactics they tried? They tried. That's yeah. Right. Back to the show. Let's talk about Alejandro Garnacho, lads. Someone has basically online on X has made a highlight clip of him since the start of the season. It just looks absolutely atrocious. I don't know if anyone's watched the clip, but it's just him basically dribbling into nothing, losing the ball. So he's seen this. He's then replied to which you should never ever do on social media, to this guy saying, wasting your time making clips of me, your life so far. Okay, very minor incident, but again, social media and United players just can't seem to stay away from each other. Just on Garnacho, what do we think his start to the season's been? I know he's a young kid, so I don't want to drill him or anything like that. Has he been a little bit underwhelming for you guys?
Everybody has, hasn't they? I don't think anybody.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown glimpses, but I mean, he gets a pass. I'm not like a super Garnacho fan or anything, but I know what he's capable of doing. And he's earned a little bit of credit in the bank. He came on and scored in the Charity Shield, I think, was it?
Community Shield, yeah.
Yeah, Community Shield. And then
the Brighton goal as well.
If not for Xerxes, he would have. Fulham, yeah. And then if not for Xerxes, he would have scored the Brighton 2-1.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The Brighton goal. Yeah, that's the one I meant.
Yeah. So I think the only thing that's kind of overshadowed this is that miss. Was it the Fulham? Was it against Fulham?
Yeah, Rashford.
Just empty net.
Yeah.
So he misses a couple of. Everybody has a bad game every now and then. Like, what's the big deal? Like, you don't expect people to come on every single time and just be like that. Like, it happens, So at the start of the season, I keep saying this all the time. Like, Garnacho is just one of those ones that he's never going away. If you hate him or if you like hate him or he's relentless. He's never going away. He's always going to be that guy. He's always going to score. He's always going to impact a game. That's who he is. So if I was him, I wouldn't even bother because I can just imagine the kind of responses he got after that. Like,
players need to stay off social media, don't they? They just need to stay
off.
Fucking don't.
Because you get absolutely cooked. I guarantee
there's no benefit. There's no benefit to being on there. Like, there's literally zero benefit.
The reply to it was like, "Shut up, you bum! I'm not seeing you dribble past one player." That's the like fucking Jesus Christ.
There's no benefit. Like, you don't get any positive interaction from it. Nobody talks to you nicely on it. Nobody it's
not worth it. When there's ever been a case of social media where it's worked out for someone, they replied to something. It's always negative. Always.
Just get your PR team, let them run it, and just never look at it. Just never fucking look at it. Cause it's just
was it Maguire's mum?
Yeah.
Who came out on social media.
And
she got £5 rapid. And everyone was
like, just don't.
Talking about Billy Bear Ham and all this shit.
Yeah. Honestly, God, if I was famous and I wouldn't be on social media, I'd just be like, here's my PR team. Just put out like promotions for stuff I'm doing, put out pictures and every so often, and just leave it. Don't do anything else because it's just pointless. It's fucking pointless.
Even when you're just being regular on social media, like, haven't you seen those things? Like, maybe someone puts a post about like a tomato, and then they go, and then someone in the in the comment goes, "Oh, I didn't know a tomato was a fruit," like innocently.
Yeah.
And people
You
just
fucking dickhead, now, you know.
Yeah. Pile on. There is. Get on this right. You just sparked a memory. So, do you guys watch Tom Segura?
Yes.
And he's, your mum's house, is it?
Yeah.
The podcast.
Yeah.
There is a girl on that, right, on TikTok, the clip that they watch, and she's the most nicest, sweetest girl ever, yeah? Just goes to the gym, does a routine, does like a day in the life kind of content, and her comments are just filled with shit. Just like, go back to bed, you piece of shit, and just things like, you're like, who are these people? Like, she's so sweet and nice. She's done nothing whatsoever, and just absolutely trolling like loads of comments. It's crazy, man.
If you want to just piss people off, just go on X and just put on a topic that people have polarizing opinions on, and just put it one end or the other, and people will just fucking lose their minds, man. Just the worst thing ever. Like, for back in the day, social media was actually somewhat fun, because Instagram used to be just, you see all your mates' photos and you'd like them, leave a bit of comment, and it was fine. Twitter was just like, football Twitter back in the day was funny. It was really fucking funny. It was so, like, 2008 to about 2013, it was fantastic. Since then, social media has just become a cesspit of negativity. It's fucking terrible.
So toxic.
Yeah, my timeline, honestly, I could go through it and just something like a fucking crocodile killing a goat, or like, do you know what I mean? Just, I'm having a nice day, I'm scrolling through my feed, and it's just like this crocodile death rolling a goat, and how the fuck is this shit on my I don't want to see stuff like this. You know what I mean? Just
I get, like, you know, like wars from like the Ukraine and stuff like that, and it's just full on videos of kids getting fucking bombed.
I get it as well.
Why? I know what's going on. I don't need to see that when I'm on my lunch. Like, I just don't like it. Fucking.
Do you know how many times and I always put the thing, like, you know, I don't want to see stuff like this again.
It keeps coming, doesn't it? You just see it.
Yeah.
So, Garnacho, if you are watching this, then just stay off social media, mate. I was having a look at a couple of his stats just to kind of finish on Garnacho this. 0 out of 3 dribble attempts against Liverpool, 1 out of 3 against Brighton, 0 against Fulham. But as we said, got an assist and should have had a goal as well and scored in the Community Shield. So it's not the worst. I think there's been other players that have been worse. But dare I mention him, I might get scrutinised. So let's move on.
As a young player as well, inconsistency is the biggest factor of most young players. You'll see elements of really, really like excellent, and then they'll have a bit of a shit one and average. Inconsistency is just something that happens with young players. He's 19, 20, and you expect him to be super consistent. Like, it's not realistic to.
I don't think he's had 3 weeks off.
Exact that as well
from Copa America.
Yeah,
I don't think he has. Yeah, if he has, maybe 3 weeks, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
So.
And he got the Copa America. He played about nearly 3,000 minutes or something ridiculous last season.
But even if you're not you're training, even if you're not there, you're training. You're in that. It's work mode. You're still in work mode until you leave, and then you go on.
No mental break is for him.
No.
Did you see the comments from Souness on Menu, by the way?
Oh, what is this? What is this dickhead saying now? Like,
so I'll read it out for you, and then you can react to it, Sam.
Absolute scouse prick he is.
Yeah.
Like,
so on United, it is FC Hollywood. They call Bayern Munich in Germany FC Hollywood. That's Man United here. If anyone shows anything, they're put into superstardom category. Way before they even become a good player, Mainu might be a player one day, but he's certainly not the go-to man at United like they're making him out to be in the midfield. I don't think this could be a day go. I don't take issue with some of the stuff he said in this, because I do think United have been looked at as that kind of FC Hollywood squad.
Yeah,
I've got nothing against that part. And to suggest that we're saying he's the go-to man, and I don't think that's necessarily true. I think all of us collective, when we're praising him, we've also said, he's 19. What can he become? When he's 25, the potential, and what he's shown. I think that's deserved the praise that he's got, has it not? Or are we overdoing it?
No,
I don't know.
If you look at the rise of Kobbie Mainoo, like this time last year, he was injured and hadn't played a senior game for United, and we were excited to see the prospect because he was clearly being sort of built to be into the team. By the time we come around to like 6 months later, he'd played how many games for us, been our best player, won a trophy, and he was going to the Euros. That's a meteoric rise, if I can't say so myself. And then when he got into the England team, he solved the midfield problem that Southgate created for himself by playing Gallagher and playing Trent in there and stuff. And when Kobe came in, the issue was solved. So this kid has rised up and become something. Nobody's saying he's the best player in the world. Nobody's going, oh, he should level up to Jude Bellingham or Kylian. Nobody's saying that. And if you are, then God help you. But nobody's saying that. We're saying the rise has been fantastic. The talent that he has and the prospect of him becoming a top player in a few years is there, the potential, because not many central midfield players at 18 have the composure and the level of talent he has and be able to put it together and be able to do what he's done. Like, it doesn't happen that often. So that's why he's getting the praise. That's why people are rightly praising him. I also think, I don't know what it is. I think Souness might have a slight race issue because he seems to pick on black players quite a lot. Pogba, Lingard, Rashford, Sterling, Kobe, all seem to be black players. He don't seem to pick on white players that often, does he? Just, it bothers me a little bit. Bothers me.
I just think United. I think United just keeps Souness relevant, really, because he has a lot of hot takes against United players. It kind of goes viral. People complain. We talk about it, and then we keep him in the news and whatever. I think honestly he needs to give us some sort of tribute, because like we're actually keeping him relevant. Honestly, all his hot takes on like what's that Talksport and stuff. Yeah. It's always about United. Always. All the controversial stuff he talks about. United, and he gets a lot of, views and listens and clicks and stuff. So he's figured it out. I think he's just doing this on purpose now, it's all shock value. It's all, I don't take him serious. Can't take him serious.
Graham Souness, what an idiot. Right.
Nice one.
You like that one, do you? There you go. You can take that and take it to the bank. Elite Baller, until we realise Bruno is a massive problem, get used to getting smashed up by Liverpool or City. Quick question, just a throwaway question on that. Would you drop Bruno in the next couple of games? Or would you keep just consistently trying to churn these performances out?
I wouldn't drop him just for the sake of it. Like, if there's a constructive system that someone else fits in better, then yes. But I won't just drop him just for the sake of it.
If Mount was available, I would switch them out. I would put Mount in there because he presses, he does like a lot of stuff. He was doing well before he was injured, and then you could drop Bruno and not lose too much. He might even gain a little bit of something.
Yeah.
And I think you do that. But like Chivy said, if we're just dropping him for the fuck of it because he played poorly, like, I don't understand what the issue. What we would do?
He has to be constructive. Yeah. And what's with all the Bruno hate today? Like,
no, it's not Bruno hate. I just think he's
not from you. I'm just saying, like, most of the comments.
Oh, in general, yeah.
People just talking about.
I just think it's been poor at the start of the season. Just in my opinion, I think if I'm the manager, and I know we've said there's a lot of people that play poor at the moment, and I agree to that. I just want him to drop Bruno and Rashford for a couple of games.
Yeah.
Just get that fighting bit back in him, because if they're playing consistently every single game, I don't know what it is, it does something in your brain where you're like, I'm going to start anyway. You know what I'm saying? But you take them out for a couple of weeks, they're like, oh, actually, someone's playing ahead of me now, and they're playing better. Yeah. I need to fucking work and build back. It's just psychology.
Absolutely. We saw it with Rashford. You remember when he got dropped and then he came off the bench against Wolves and scored? Yeah. And he had that, he turned up late for a meeting. Like, some players respond to that. Some players go, fuck it, I'll show you. And they respond to it. But if they're just playing day in, day out, and they just go, well, it doesn't really matter what performance I put in, I'm getting the money anyway, so let's just fucking carry on.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you guys, especially like Elite Baller who put that in the show. Like, I'm agreeing. I'm just a little bit surprised. I've never seen this much Bruno criticism in a while. Because you guys know I'm not like one of his biggest fans at all. Like, and I've been calling for this, but it's almost scary just to see how just to see people like finally. Yeah.
I think it's scary in general just because the senior players are not performing. None of them are really. It's the new signings. If anything, I think Delit, Majaure, have been pretty good. But apart from that, your whole spine of senior players, Licha, Casemiro, Bruno, I think have all been poor. Oh,
Onana's
Nano,
goal.
the positioning on that third goal. Oh my
Those
lord.
goals are like, yeah. De Gea stops at least 2 of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing that kills me because I was the kind of not pioneer, but what's the right word? Pioneering? I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. But I was pushing for
The
him to come in.
championing.
I believed in the fact that we need a modern goalkeeper and we need someone to play out from the back. And me and Sam discussed the other day as well. You're just not seeing it at the minute, and you're seeing dodgy goals going in. You're seeing it like sometimes him rushing out of his goal, taking risks when you don't need to. And you're like, well, maybe actually we might have been better with the security. I don't know because it's just nothing's changed really, has it? We're still conceding as many goals.
I think there is individual mistakes from several players, like you just mentioned, Onana, Bruno, Casemiro, etc. This system is exposing every single one of those guys' worst parts of their game. All of them. Like the worst parts of their game that they're not good at, that's being exposed within this system that he's trying to play. Like they're not good at it. Good managers go, this player's got X weakness or this weakness, so we're going to play this way to sort of mitigate the weaknesses and play to their strengths. And Ten Hag is just going, no, I'm playing this system no matter what. And he thinks, oh, the more players I get in that I've worked with before, the system will work eventually. And I just don't think it ever will. Like, I just don't think it's going to work.
Civir, can I ask you a question? Because me and Sam spoke about the game. There was a lot of people saying that Liverpool game isn't as bad as people are making out, and it was 3 mistakes. Do you agree with that, or do you think the performance was horrendous on Sunday?
I think it was a really bad performance. I get what they're saying. I think what I will say is I don't think Liverpool were outstanding. I think we were really bad. I don't think Liverpool were outstanding, but there's very, very little. I mean, apart from standards must have dropped for people to actually think that the game wasn't that bad. Because yes, there were times when we had some good passing of the ball, passing between the lines. There was good combinations in short spaces. I was quite pleased with that. But that was only in moments. And if that doesn't amount, we've said it here so many times. If all of that doesn't amount to anything, then what's the point? Like, what's the whole point? I think we were quite bad. I understand where people think maybe there were some possibilities and stuff like that, but I think we're terrible. And I think why we're even so terrible is because Liverpool wasn't really that amazing. They only grew into confidence later in the game, and then they started to ole, and the crowd didn't help. And then
that killed me. That I hated that.
Yeah.
The last
So all of that, and that was like in the 57th minute. Can you imagine that? They're olaying.
Yeah.
It's not even the 60th minute. Yeah, it was like 57. So I agree with you guys. Or I don't agree with what those people are saying about it wasn't that bad. I've seen a video. I didn't watch it, but I saw like a title. Someone says United were not that bad. I don't know who it was.
You know what's worrying, Chivy? You're right. Liverpool weren't that good. Like Liverpool weren't amazing by any stretch of imagination. They weren't great.
Okay.
They were all right, but they still put it to us so easily. It was so easy for them, and they weren't even that great.
Wasn't it like 3? It was. I think their shot conversion was like, but it was like 3 shots.
Yep.
And 3 shots on target.
Yeah.
3 goals.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It's like they beat
and
us.
We had a similar amount. We had a similar amount of shots, but then it was something like that. So yeah, I can see where people. Yeah, you have to watch football with your eyes. Like, forget all this other stuff. Like, everything we saw then was horrendous. And I think why fans are really starting to turn now, it's not just because of the scoreline. It's because we can't see where we're going to improve from. We can't see a way out of this whole thing. Like, it looked really, really dire. If it was a 3-0 where we were, where it was kind of even, or where there was something that we could sort of believe in, then that would be a different case. But I think people are starting to see that there's not much we can really believe in here, and that's why people are upset.
Sam, I thought you was going to go then. Sorry, that's why I was everything here. You put a graphic in the chat, didn't you? I think was it the most chances created?
Yeah. United have got. I think United got 9 chances created and not converted, and then I think the next team down was it Liverpool? Was 7, I believe. Let me hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get it. I'll find it. But yeah, basically it was a breakdown of big chances missed. So at the top, Manchester United with 9 big chances missed, 2 goals total. Next was 7 big chances missed with Liverpool, but they scored 7 goals. So it's about 50-50. Tottenham Hotspur, 7 chances missed, but they scored 6. Arsenal, 7 chances missed, but they scored 5. Brentford, 7 chances missed, but they scored 5. Chelsea, 6 chances missed, but scored 7. Villa, 6 chances missed, scored 4. So everybody's missing chances, but they're putting in double the amount of goals we are, which just shows you our finishing is fucking abysmal.
Mm. And when you look at the strikers now, I'm like, maybe we do need a proven goal scorer. I like Rasmus, I like Xerxes. But now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know
the Tony deal was
goals.
there. Tony deal was there to do.
Yeah,
Chelsea didn't want him, and Saudi came in, and they could dick about with it and stuff, and they got him.
I just don't see him scoring enough goal. I don't. You have to almost rely on the wingers if you're bringing in Xerxes because he's the one going to be supplying them. Now I'm looking at him
apart from like Haaland, right? And I don't know, just correct me if I'm wrong. But nowadays, like a lot of goals come from like your wingers and your Arsenal, like that whole front three was all scoring. City had KDB, Foden, I just don't see it from us, man. I don't see Ahmad scoring 15 goals. I don't see Rashford scoring 12. I don't see, Bruno might get 10. Like,
but Bruno hasn't got a goal or assist yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he has.
No.
I don't think Rashford's had a shot on target in 3 games.
No.
Or a red
apart from the offside one.
Yeah, but the offside one. Obviously Rasmus has been injured. Xerxes had 2 shots on target. That's it. But obviously scored in the first game. Like very, very low stats. I mean, I know it's only 3 games in, but Haaland scored 8 goals at a minute? Yeah. He's on.
Even Casemiro, who's a goal threat and gets on the end of stuff. His headers are going over the bar. He's not getting everybody. Like even the people where you go, all right, they'll definitely get a few goals in them. Even they're missing chances. So it's just
Let me ask you guys this. How long until you pull the plug?
I would, or United will.
No, you. Like how long until? Yeah.
If I don't see something before Christmas, like anything to hold on to, he's got to go. He has to go, and I think United will feel the same because you got Ruud van Nistelrooy sitting there. I think that's such an easy switch to go to, isn't it? It's so easy to do. You don't have to search for a new manager. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. You just be like, Ruud, here's your opportunity to shine. Go for it.
I think if he comes back from this international break and you still have mixed results, because I believe we play Southampton, Barnsley, FC20 in the Europa League, and Palace at some point.
Yeah. Palace
if you don't get like 3 out of 4 at least.
Palace is the game where you're like, that's the tricky one. The other 3, you should be winning. You should be winning those games.
Yeah. But we need to get back for Palace. Like we really need to get back like that. We lose twice to them last year.
Yeah. We did because we
beat them in like stupid cup.
Carabao Cup, I think it was, and then it was the same fixture the week after that we lost, didn't we? I think Joaquin Anderson might have scored or something towards the end.
I think so, yeah.
And then 4-0 obviously away, and now they're weakened. They've lost Elise. They've lost Anderson because he's gone to Fulham.
Yeah. They haven't been doing well either.
Oh, so you should be going to beat, and that's why I'm saying if we come back off the international break and you lose a couple of them games, I think that's enough for me, to be honest. Enough, because you're already behind in the season.
If he loses 5 games on the bounce, that could kill him. That could sink him completely.
I'd say less.
I don't think he loses 5 on the bounce.
No, but he could like the way it's going, Chivy, he could well lose 5 games on the bounce. Like this is not. I've not seen anything in these games to go, he can win these games. Like I haven't. Like it's worrying, man. Like, and if he loses 5 games,
what do you think? So what does Ineos do now? What do you think? I mean, they've thrown their weight behind him.
Yeah.
What do? Have they burnt their bridges with Tuchel? Like everyone else who they wanted to get is kind of somewhere else now, unless Graham Potter.
That's why I think they stuck with him, Jimmy, though, because I think sometimes it's better than the devil, you know. Do you know what I mean? Because they looked at it and like, if we do make a change and we make this decision and take accountability for it, and the next guy that we bring in might not necessarily be the best option out there at the minute, and then he fucks up and he fails, that's on us then.
That's on them, exactly. So they played it smart at the end of the day,
like you could tell because they extended they just activated the 1-year extension instead of offering him a full contract. Because if they fully backed him, they fully believed in him, they go, here's 3 years, here's your contract, project going forward, and then everybody would shut up because he's got a 3-year deal, they ain't sacking him. But they've just gone, here's a year extension, which basically says to me that you're here to prove yourself, and if you don't, you're gone.
And I think that everyone we've bought this season is not like a specific Ten Hag player, if that makes sense. Because any manager can come in and get the best out of these players. Like De Ligt, Mazraoui, these are all like top players that could play under anyone, really. So it's not like he's getting like, who was it? Moyes that went and got Fellaini, who was like the typical Moyes player. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Do you know someone who I really like, and I wasn't familiar with like how well he was playing in the Championship? McKenna. I really like McKenna's football. I've watched him with Ipswich. The way they've taken it to Liverpool, especially in the first 45 minutes, with the quality of squad that they've got, he was all over him. The way they pressed, the way they moved the ball, shift it about. If you could replicate that style of play, I'd look. I'm not saying he's going to come in with the succession and take us to Premier League title.
Yeah.
But I'm just throwing it out there. It's like I do like the way he plays football, and I want that kind of football. I don't want to see this for a full season. I just can't deal with it because it's too hectic. It's too like my blood pressure can't handle the shit that's happening in games when Casemiro's fucking 100-mile-an-hour passes straight into the opposition for them to get a turnover and score, or he's getting pushed over like a frail old man and then they go and score. I can't deal with that for a full season.
Before we finish, Nick, I've got a teaser question for you two and the chat.
Okay.
Manuel Ugarte becomes the 5th Uruguayan player to play for United. Who are the other 4?
Pellistri, Cavani.
Yeah.
Varela, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Veron's Argentinian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Varela's one of them.
Yeah.
With Varela, Pellistri.
How many? 5?
5, yeah. But Ugarte is one of them, so you got to name 4.
That's 4. We've got one more.
One more.
So we need to name 4. So it's Cavani, Pellistri, Varela, one more, Uruguay.
4 then.
There you go. People in the chat got it. There you go. Joshua Owens got it. My Damn United got it. Elite Baller got it. Well done, lads. All good.
Yeah, we've had some.
Is Veron Argentinian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I just keep seeing him in the Uruguayan shirt anyway?
It's very similar. It's not like, very similar colours in it, blue and white.
Blue and white stripe.
To be fair.
Right.
One can be forgiven, I suppose. Right. That is the end of Unfiltered. Just to give you these odds, we'll discuss it, but I'm not going to go through it now. We've hit the hour mark. So the odds on managers next take over Erik ten Hag. Strap in. Southgate is the favourite, 2-1. Poch is second favourite. Ruud van Nistelrooy, McKenna, Tuchel, Potter, Zidane, and Ole is 50-1. So
what?
Make of that.
Whoa. Ole is on the list.
50-1. Yeah, 50-1. I wouldn't be putting a tenner on that anytime soon. Could you imagine? Oh my God. Ineos, we're bringing back Ole, and everyone's like, hold on a minute. What? Sorry, what?
I hate
Isn't Gareth Southgate going to I thought he's getting like a big TV deal or something.
For what? Who the fuck's giving him a big TV deal?
I swear I saw someone.
Watch come watch Pate Drive
BBC
with Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, if he had a documentary, it would be like greenhouses or something, wouldn't it? Designing greenhouses, some fucking mundane shit, some boring shit.
50. What is
I don't know
is it 50 Shades of Mauve? That's 50 Shades of Beige. Is the Gareth Southgate?
50 Shades of Gate.
Just fucking.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, this is where we're at, lads. We've
I
still got another.
I hate that. I hate those odds. By the way, Nick, that Southgate is at the fucking top. That is terrifying.
And Asper's a big fan of him.
No.
No, it's never going to happen.
Don't say that because it could happen.
It's never going to happen.
Can you on camera? You on camera, please. Say he will definitely not manage Manchester United.
He will 100% definitely not manage Man United. There's absolutely no way. Okay. Absolutely no way. I have to think of a forfeit now.
Yeah, what's the forfeit? I think a clip is bad enough of it because I can just do a time lapse. absolutely no way, no way, no way, no way. And then just like fade into like Christmas
Southgate,
time.
Southgate in his
I refuse,
waistcoat,
no,
walking
I'm
out at
listen.
Old
Yeah, like
Trafford, like.
Didn't. Yeah. Some rock
I'm not
music
speaking
behind it.
this into existence. I promise you that this guy is never going to manage Manchester United. Never. It's
Okay.
not happening. Never.
Timestamp it. 59 minutes, unfiltered. It's the 3rd of September, 2024. Let's
God.
see. Let's see. I'll leave that question for the people in the chat. Would you rather have Southgate right now or keep Ten Hag for the rest of the season? That's a difficult question. Thank you, everyone who's been in the comments. Sorry we haven't been able to get into him as much, but we can still see him. We still appreciate him and appreciate you guys for tuning into our live show when you've got a spare bit of time. So if you can, leave a like on the video for us. Be very, very grateful. Subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer. Very welcome. Hello. And me, Civir and Sam will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.